Hello everyone, welcome to day 6, I guess. Is it day 5 or day 6? So last week Michael trashed out this part and this part. So today we are going to trash out this part, because what we are going to do on this part is, I think this section here is more like a scrolling section. So all of these cards are moving, they are moving from, right to left. So they are moving like this. So they are moving cards, and we will see how we can sort that out today. Yeah, we'll see how we can do that today. And even this part too. This part also is a scrolling, all of these parts. So if I do this one today, if we stop here, you guys will go and sort out this part, because it's the same pattern or style that we're going to follow. So right here, we will talk about animations, kind of. And you guys will go and trash out these parts. This one is very easy, pretty straightforward. This part too is very straightforward. If you can even go further and sort out some of the parts yourself, that would be great. But before we go any further, we have here David. David is someone that reached out to me. There's David Abe here. David, how far now? How are you doing now?
My boss, I agree with you, bro. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I agree with you. So he's going to, he has an issue that we're all going to, maybe he will share the read-only link, or he will share his screen. You did close your laptop, Abby?
Actually, I'm connecting my phone now, but then I my system.
Yeah, okay, connect your system, then you will let me know, and maybe you present your screen and talk what the problem is. Then we can see how we tackle it from there. Yeah. All right, no problem. So he will try to solve out something he has. He has like a glitch or a problem or a blocker with his project. So we'll look at it together and we'll try to solve it. But before we do that, let's jump right into what we have today. So let's try to sort out this part. So we'll look at this part. Has anyone attempted this part? Has anyone gone beyond this part? This explore amazing stuff? Anyone at all? Anyone? If you've tried out this part, but if you've not, no problem. Let's just move around. Let's just jump right into it. So what we're going to do, we're going to analyze this part. You're going to notice, always look at your Figma design, analyze it. We have two parts. This part that is the text part, this part that is the image part. So part 1 and part 2, that's the first thing that you want to take note of. So you have two parts, this part and that part. So after building the foundation and everything, you're going to have a component that will house the two parts together. All right. So now, what do you want to call this part? This is a section on its own. This section, but what do you want to call this section? From the text, from the heading, you're going to name your section. We'll most likely say section latest tech trends, but that will be too long. We might just say section text tech trends. All right, section text tech trend. Let's call it that. So I'll go back to my Webflow and I'll scroll down, go to my page wrapper. Now you have to be very mindful. I think the problem Cynthia was facing last time was how she places her elements. You have to be very mindful of placement. The sections and the section. Don't go and place another section inside of another section. That will be problematic. You want to place every section. Make sure you are on the main wrapper. Cynthia, am I correct? I think that was your last. I noticed that was your last blocker, right?
Yes.
All right. Good. So you have to be just monitor your navigator, know what is what. Now I'm going to click on the main wrapper and I'm going to go to my plus sign and I'm going to click on section. Let us bring in a new section. See, we have our new section here. This is like I say, all of these things are just boxes, empty boxes. Even section is like an empty box. All right. Now the first thing has been done. Section. Let us go build out our structure or our foundation. Now what I want to do next, I'm going to use okay. Let me accept whoever is on the call. Admit. All right, cool. Let's continue. Let me just build out the section, then we'll trash out whatever issue David has. So you guys will see how I don't know what the nature of the issue is, but we're all going to look at it, and you will see how to analyze an issue and solve a particular problem. That's the problem solving skills I'm talking about. All right, so we're going to call this section, we're going to call it section tech trend, right? Section underscore tech trends. Simple. First part is done. I'm going to bring in a div block now. Now we are building the structure. Like, as we all know, we have, what do we have? We have, let me go and peep. Sometimes I do forget. Padding global on container large. Okay. We have padding global. We have here padding global. That is done. Let me just scroll down so that, okay, now what we are doing is happening, but it is collapsing, like it's just shrunk, so you can't really see all of that. Now we're going to bring in another div block again. Inside of the padding global, there's a div block. Now that we're going to call, now from the new version of client first, they say that you should combine padding global and padding section, right? So I'm going to add a combo class here and say padding section large. Boom. So that we can have that. We can have that, you know, up and down padding. All right. So this is our new div block, looking and sitting pretty. We're going to call it container. So this is our container large now. Good. We have the container large now, after which we want to now say, this is section tech trend. We want to now create a component or tech trend component. Yep. So we're going to bring in a div block. See how easy, and not easy per se, but you see how straightforward it is. Tech underscore trend dash compo. Nope, sorry. Tech dash trend underscore component. So these are component right now. We have this component here, tech trend component, and yeah. Now from here, this is where we now start to analyze things. All right. We now have the first part here and the second part here. Now let us use a grid. We're going to use a grid to build this out. What does that mean? We are going to make our tech trend component a grid, right? Because a grid having two cells, the left hand cell and the right hand cell. The left hand cell is going to handle all of this text as text parts, and the right hand cell is going to handle all of the right hand parts. All right, so let's jump right into it. So we have the tech trend component. Now this tech trend component, I'll come to display and say I want you to be a grid. All right, a 2x2 grid. This one here and this one here. We do not need this extra one here, so I'll come to this row and I'll come here to delete this one here, this part. So we just have a 2x1, 2 columns by 1 row grid. Now in the first column, this part, we want to put a div block inside. We want to put a div block, and what do we want to do? We want to call it tech trend content. That is the content inside the component. All right, so I'm just going to call it tech trend component, tech trend content. I mean tech trend underscore content. All right, that's the right up. And inside of it is, what do we have inside of it? We have all of this text. We have this heading here. We have this paragraph here. We have, you know, this small heading and all of this. So let us start by bringing in all of that into the content. Okay, we have a heading inside of the content. We have a heading, most likely a H, that's like a H3. No, a H2. That's a H2. If I'm not mistaken, this is our H2, right? explore all of that. And we have this paragraph text here. So I'm just going to say, okay, the heading is there. Amazing. And I'm going to bring in a paragraph too as well. I'll bring in a paragraph inside. That is done. Then what else do I want to bring inside? Now I want to create this small latest tech. I think if I recall, it was something that was built from last time. I don't have to build it again from scratch. All right, I don't have to. I will just go and copy it from here. We have the features here. So what I'm going to do, this is where you now reuse things. Just come here and I'll just copy these features. Control C, and I'll just come here, paste it. Boom, pasted. But I'll have to drag it up to be the first. See, it's here. But if you notice in this inside of the tech trend content, it is spanning from left to right. It is just very long. It doesn't make sense. We do not want that. So what do we do on this tech trend, on the parent tech trend content? We want to justify it to the start. I think that should solve the problem. I click it. It doesn't. Nice. Now it doesn't solve the problem. We have to look for another solution to that problem. Now, what do we want to do? I want to now make this tech trend content, that's the parent of these three guys. I want to make it a flex box. All right. If I want to stack it vertically, I want to make it a flex box. I want to stack it vertically. So I will come here and say display layout flex box. It is stacked horizontally. We do not want that. I want to stack it vertically. Now I want to align it. This align will help solve our problem. I want to align it to the start. Boom. See, once I click on start, if it is here, stretch, that means it's going to stretch everything. That is why this feature, this background is stretching to the endpoint. That is what it means. Always look, is my flex box in stretch? If yes, you want to put it in what? Start pushes it to the, to the start. Now we have the three of them, but they are too clustered together. You need spacing to breathe. So I'll check my design here. You see how we have a reasonable amount of space in between these three. So what I'm going to do, this one is saying latest tech. I'm just going to copy that and paste it here. Latest tech, paste it here. Now I want to go back to the parent. I want to give it a gap so that we have space in between, maybe like 16. That's like 1 rem. Just type in 1 rem. We have that 1 rem. See, we have a reasonable amount of space. I will just go back and copy the text, the heading, exploring the latest tech trends, and I'll just paste it here. We have this here now, and go back here and copy this little heading.
How much gap did you just give this?
I give it 1 rem of gap.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see, I've pasted all the content. This is what we have. But from our design, we have latest. Exploring the latest is on one line, and tech trend is on another line. What do we now do? We are going to give that the parent. We're going to give the parent two things you can do. You can use, now I don't want to give this parent a particular width. If I give it a width of maybe 500 or 400, yeah, it works. Or maybe 380 pixel. You see, this works, but I don't want to go through this route. I want to just add a padding to the right. So the padding presses down the content towards the right, so until it breaks down tech. This is, yeah, you can do this. So maybe let's say 150 pixels to the right, or we can put it in rems. 150 divided by 16 rem. So we now have roughly, let's say 10 rem roughly, or let's say 9.5 rem. All right, 9.5 rem roughly. So this is what we have. You can do this, or you can give it a width. Let's just work with this. All right. So now what we want to do next is we want to create this line here. There is a line. After the line comes this guys here. Now I won't have to build these guys from scratch, right? Because I have something almost similar from what Michael did last week. This, I'm just going to copy this and use it as these guys. All right. That's exactly what I'm going to do. But before that, let me create this line here. I want to create this line. So I am going to go outside of this tech trend content. Oops, is it outside or inside? Let me look at it again. Okay, inside. Okay. So this line is still inside the tech trend content. So we are going to go inside of the tech trend content and we're going to bring in a div block. This div block will serve as our line. This div block, this is our line here. All right. So I'm just going to call it line, or straight line or whatever, or line, you know. So I call it a class of line and I give it a width of 100%. So it takes the entire width of the parent. See, it's now 100% from here to here. I am going to give it a height of maybe 1 pixel. So it has a very little height, maybe 1 pixel of height. And I'm going to give it a color, a background color of something grayish, the gray like this, something like this. We can give it a height of 2 pixels, maybe 2 pixels. It's more fat. So yeah, the line part is done. This is blocking my way. The line part is done. Now we want to bring in a div block that is going to house all of this. This one here and this one here. Now these two, look at these two things are.
Sorry.
Yeah, ask. Don't worry. Shoot your shot.
Like you're on steroids today, you are fast though.
Are you serious?
Yes, okay. But anyway, I think I like it, but I wanted you to just go back to how you added color to the line.
Oh, okay, cool. If you have any question, just ask at any time. So because it's a line, this line is a div block. This line is just a div block that has a width of 100%. That means it's going to take the height. It's going to take the width of each parent. If you make anything 100%, it's going to be 100% of this is the parent. This content, this bigger div block is the parent. So if you give this line 100% width, it's going to stretch from start to finish. You're saying take 100%, use 100% of your parent as the width. So that is the first. Now this line has a height, a very tiny, it's not tall because it's a line, it's just a very small height of maybe 2 pixel. You know, that's because if you notice, this is what I mean. This is 2 pixel. Can you see? That's why I give it 2 pixel so that we can have this height. So that's why we give the height 2 pixel. After giving it 2 pixel, what next? We need to give it a background color of this gray. All right, we need to give it a background color. So let's go back again. So we have the line having a height of 2 pixel, a width of 100%, and a color of some, random background color. If you make it red, see, it's red. If you make it black, it's black. But we chose to make it a grayish color because of the design has a gray color. I think that's pretty much it. If you want to make the height 5 pixel, look at what happens. 5, it will be more thick. You make it 10 pixel, it's way more thick. Let's make it 40 pixel. See? So because this is very thick, the ideal is to make it 2 or 1 pixel. That's why it's like that. Do you understand? You grab.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
Okay, fresh. Okay, we'll just go ahead. Now, inside of the tech trend content again, we are going to bring in a div block or a div block that will house this guy and this guy. But because we have it here already, we're we're just going to use from what we have from the previous part that was developed, which is this. But we're going to use this feature list so as we are trying to get everything, the entire parent. So I'm going to copy this feature list, copy it, and I'm going to paste it inside of this tech trend because I don't want to build it again from scratch. And we need just two things, just one and two. So two items are inside. Now, I am not going to call it feature list anymore. I'll call it something different because this feature list is particular to this section. Now we're going to call it something else. Inside of the feature list, we now have the feature item, these four parts. I'm going to delete two. See, two is gone. We have just this two that we need, but I'm going to rename or duplicate the class. I don't want it to have this class name of feature list because this feature list is just particular to this part that we copied it from. So I'm going to come here. Instead of feature list, I would say duplicate it, and I will call it tech trend list so that it is particular to our new section, tech trend list. And instead of the feature item, I'm going to duplicate it, not rename. Rename is different. If you rename it, you've messed up. Always duplicate it. I'm going to call it tech trend underscore item. So the items inside of the feature list. This one too, I will do the same. I'll just delete this one and say tech trend item. Got it here. Tech trend item. Good. So right now I'm just going to start pasting in content from my Figma. I will just copy this powerful dashboard, copy it here, and I'll come here to paste it. Oh, it's the same write-up, so there's no stress. Always in sync. It's basically the same thing, the same icon. So you see, it's perfect. But to create a space, because this is our tech trend list, this new tech trend list is too close to this line. See, this one is not too close to the line. See, there's a reasonable amount of space. I'm going to give the parent, which is this tech trend list, I'm going to give it like a margin of maybe 2 rem. See, so we add a reasonable amount of space to the top. Now imagine I was using this featured list. Imagine I did not rename it to tech trend list. If I give it this 2 rem at the top here, it's going to also add 2 rem because they are sharing the same class name. So that was why I had to rename it to tech trend list, so that anything I'm doing to this tech trend list will not affect our feature list. See, because of classes, you don't want to. There are cases where you use the same class name and you don't have to worry. Like in this part now, the class name is called feature. I copied it from this feature. I may not necessarily have to rename it from here because there is no point. Whatever I want to do to this one will affect this one. Let's say, for instance, the background color changes from this light blue to something else, to red. It affects everybody. See? It affects both this one and this one. So that's why I just didn't have to like go and start renaming this one as well. So yeah, but that's by the way. So what else? So yeah, see, we are done with the left hand side. If you notice, we are done with this left hand side. So we are left with this right hand side. Why is Figma misbehaving? So let's go and tackle this right hand side now. That's the other side of the, of our grid. Remember, we are just dealing with one side. We have the grid, the tech trend components, which is the component that is the grid that we give grid, display as grid, and inside of it, the left-hand side, which houses everything to the left-hand side. And the right-hand side now is what we want to tackle. How do we get the right-hand side? I'm going to bring in a div block inside of the tech trend components. Mind you, not inside of this tech trend content. Anything you put inside of here is going to add inside of this left-hand side. So you want to go back to the tech trend content and bring in a div block. That's the only way whatever div block you're going to add will come to this right-hand side. So boom. So we have this div block to the right-hand side. Now, what do we call it? We're going to call it tech trend image, because it's an image. We're going to say tech trend image. That's what we're going to call it. Now I'm going to call it tech trend underscore img. Now, I don't know if, like I said, this part is like an animation. So how does animation work? Basically, animation works in a very simple way. So what you're seeing here is a card 1, 2, 3 that will be duplicated twice, so it's longer, and you're just going to apply an animation to it. So it's going to move from left to right, and once it gets to a certain point, it loops itself and starts from beginning again. So let's say, look at, if you can see my hand, this is the first card. This is the first card component that has 3 cards inside. So this div block has 3 cards inside. This other div block has 3 cards. So it's going to move from left to right. Once this second one hits a certain point, it loops from beginning again. So this is the idea behind animation. It loops from beginning again. You see? It always loops from beginning. And to you, to the viewer or to the user, it's going to look like something that is looping or just moving. But the technicality behind it is that it always loops over and over and over again. So having that in mind, we're going to look at how we can, build that up. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we have this tech trend image. We're going to say tech trend image wrapper. That's what we're going to call it. All right. And we're going to give it this color. See, it has this background color, washed red kind of vibe. So I'm going to come here and say, this is the color here. I'm just going to copy this. I hope it's copied though. And we're going to scroll down to color. I'm just going to paste it here. All right. It has a radius of maybe 10 pixel or whatever. So it has a radius. If you notice, it has like a corner radius here, which is like 24 pixels. You see this here, corner radius 24 pixels. And it has a border color. It has this border color. So let's go take the corner radius to like 24 or 20. And let's give it a border color of some type of gray, something like that. So yeah, this is what we most likely have. So this is what we have. This is the first step. All right, we've done this. And what we want to do now is we want to create another div block that is going to house this 3 image, 1, 2, 3. All right. So let's go create a div block inside of it that's going to house those 3 image. Let's go and do that. So I'll bring in a div block inside of it. I'll bring in a div block. So we have a div block sitting pretty at the top. Now, I don't think this color is right. This background color is not entirely right. This one is almost like a red thingy. Almost like a red color. Could it be this one? Let me try this color and see. All right, this is the right color. Okay, great. All right, then. So this is the div block that is going to house those 3 images. All right. Now let's go and look at it again. 1, 2, 3. Now notice how the div block is at the center. The div block housing the 3 images is at the center, not at the top, exactly in the middle. So I'm going to go to the parents, this tech trend image wrapper, and I'm going to say align middle. See? No, not that one. Undo. I'm going to give it a display flex box and align middle. Yeah, align middle. So we have the div block at the middle. Now this div block, we're going to call it tech trend image. All right, tech trend image. Let's call it tech trend image content. All right, image content. Yeah, tech trend image content. Okay, now inside of it we are going to now put in this guy, and this guy. So let me just download just this one, and I will just copy and paste it into 3 places. So I'm going to download you. I'm going to export it as a PNG, and I'm going to come inside of my Webflow now, and I'm going to put it inside as an image, bring in an image, and I'm going to choose an image now. And so we have this. Great. So we have just one. We have just the first one. Let me make it a little bit small, maybe 230 degrees, 230 pixel. So I'm just going to duplicate it, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. Now we have it in 3 places, but it is very weird that it is breaking into a new line. So I'm going to go to the parent, and I'm going to tell it, I want you to display yourself flexbox horizontal. So I want you to be horizontal. So regardless, I need it to just be in a straight line, even if it means for you to go outside of your parent, which is this guy here. So by doing so, we are going to have an overflow. We have an overflow going on, which is this. You see this, how sometimes websites will behave so weirdly, creating a very weird space here because of content that are pushing, going outside of the box of its parent. Sometimes it's needed if you want to create animations, but there's a way you can prevent an overflow from happening, which we're going to talk about in a bit. From our Figma file, you're going to notice that there is no overflow here happening. See, because of this parent, it looks like the image is coming out of the parent, so it doesn't have the flexibility to. It's hidden here. See, compared to our own that is overflowing. There's an overflowing content here. So how do we sort that out? Is you go to this parent, go to your parent. What? No. You go to your parent here, the tech trend image wrapper, and you see there is a part here that says overflow. Very important. You want to set it to hidden. I'm at the parent, overflow, hidden. There is scroll overflow, and there is auto overflow. Let's take a look at what those three things mean. If I say hidden, it is going to hide or cut off any extra that is not in the confine of the parent. So I click on hidden. See, it has cut off all the extra, all the excesses. You know, if I say scroll, it is going to cut it off, but it will still give me the flexibility to scroll. It's going to create a scroll feature. I click on scroll. See? Now, if I do horizontal scrolling, you see there's a scroll thing happening here, which is also a good, if you want to use this style, it's also a good practice. I can also recommend, because if you preview, look at how it is. So someone can also like check other things out, you know, by scrolling. You can just put a disclaimer, scroll, you know, scroll to the right or scroll horizontally or whatever. So whoever cares can just scroll. See? So if there are plenty, it's just be scrolling while still hiding, you know, the weird parts, other parts. If you have any question at this point, please, you can signify. If you are following, you can drop an emoji. Let's know that you are following. All right, great. All right, cool. So after I finish building all of this, we're going to sort out David's issue, and we'll see how that goes. So yeah, so this is just me trying to do step by step of how this thing can be achieved. It is just, if you can visualize it in your head, if you can, I always say this, if you can sort it out on paper. Right now, it's easier for me, because of my plenty years of experience, it's easier for me to just know what I am supposed to do. I know what I need to do. If I look at a section on a website, I know how to go about it because of years of accumulated experience. I've done it over and over. So almost any section I can build. Just almost any type of layouts I can build without having to think too much. You know, once I look at it, I just say, okay. And I start. I already play it in my head. How do I achieve this section? But as you are starting off, it's okay to take your time, study the Figma, sketch how you think this can be done. If you don't understand it on paper or in your head, you can't implement it on Webflow. Let the implementation be the easy part. You need to like take a deep breath, study the Figma, say, okay, this section now, maybe play the prototype and study it to know that, okay, what do I do here? This animation, how do I go about it? I'm going to do a div block that houses this part, and now go to, if you can play it out like that and it makes sense to get it or to achieve it on Webflow, is the easy part. You know, that is a problem solving skills, trying to draft out or sort out things on paper or on a note or whatever. You know, people learn differently. So yeah. So I want you to be auto. Look at what auto does. Auto will also add like a scroll thing. Auto is just, if there is need for hiding, I will hide. If there is need for showing a scroll, I will show. I rarely use auto. Just use hidden. Let's just cut the chase. Hidden. But yeah, let's just do hidden. But this hidden should not start from that side. Hidden should start from here. Okay, good. So we have the first one, the second one, the last one is hidden, which is good. That is what we want. Now we have tech trend content. Inside of it, we have our 3 image. Now, only just this tech trend content cannot, I repeat, cannot cannot achieve the animation that we want to do. Because it's a loop, that means this tech trend content needs to be 2. That means this 3 image needs to be 6, at least 6. If it is 6, then we can animate it to always, before the first 3 will pass, second 3 is coming. It immediately loops to the start, you know, but the eyes cannot even, most like the eyes will not notice the loop, you know. It's kind of tricky, but it's not. So I'm going to now duplicate this tech trend image content into 2, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Now we have it in 2s. So we have about 6 cards. If I take away the hidden, you're going to see what's happening. Let me put it in scroll. You're going to see how much we are scrolling. See, because we have it in 6. If I try to preview now, you see how, but then there is an overlapping that is happening. The other 3 is kind of like overlapping, which is not a good thing, which we are going to try to sort out now. It shouldn't overlap. So back to the parent, I'm going to say, okay, hey, parent, your children are acting weird and they are overlapping. So I'm going to give this first child, this tech trend image content, a width of 100%. 100%. Nothing, didn't do anything, which is good. Second one too is having 100%. Okay, good. So let's check, let's confirm what the problem is. So the first one is this one, this other one, and this other one. See, 1, 2, 3. But the second one is not starting from where it's supposed to start. It is now coming on, you know, like overlapping on each other, which is not good. Now we need to make this second one start from where this first one finishes. So what do we do?
Spacing. Spacing.
You say what? I didn't get you, sorry. Spacing?
Yeah, spacing. Between words, give those.
Yeah, spacing. Spacing is the only way out, or is one of the way out. So first of all, let's try with the parent. Let's see what can be done with this parent. Nothing, really nothing can be done. So I'll go to this child, this first child. And this first child is supposed to stretch. If only we can make it stretch from here to here. I made it 100%, but that did not work out. And I would come to this flex child. Let me try another problem solving thing. I'll click on this sizing and I'll try to click on grow if possible. Nothing is happening. This other one too, nothing is happening. Aha, exactly. This is what I'm looking for. You see this guy? See this sizing? This is the solution. I click on this, don't shrink or grow. That means it's going to push everybody, making sure that the content inside of it takes a reasonable, substantial amount of space. Like, you know, make use of all the entire 100% first. Do not shrink yourself or grow yourself. Enjoy the entire space. That is why you see it has pushed. It is now taking the full width of its parent 100%. So you see, I don't think we would face that problem again. Let's go and test. So you see, oh, we still have a little bit of it. Okay, we have 1, 2, and 3. This other one is not starting from where it's supposed to start. Okay, but we are almost there. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to say, okay, let us make this guy. Okay, let's scroll and see what the problem is. This is the problem now. Now this is where we can now add, you know, margin from this tech trend image. This first guy, we're going to add margin and drag, see, add spacing and add more spacing. We can either do this. Okay, let me undo everything I've done. Let me reset. Let's try to, we are justifying But let's try to do justify like this. Let me try this other kind of spacing. No. Sorry. My bad. Yeah, we're going to add margin. We're going to add margin like this. More margin like this. More margin like this, you know. More margin like this. More margin like this. Maybe 200. Nah, maybe 190. Okay, 190 is perfect. So you see, we now have all of them. See, it's just okay. The spacing here is too much, so that 190 is too much. So I'm just going to make it maybe 180 or some sort. Maybe 180. All right. Okay, I think it's still too much. Who has a question?
No, it's a suggestion.
Oh, okay. Okay, what is someone suggesting?
What if you click on this 10 thread image wrapper, go to justify, then apply this spacing?
Oh, okay. I think I have done that now. That has been done. Now let me take away all of those plenty stuff I've added. Reset. Okay, now we have this. Now let me try to go here again and add gap. Yeah, okay, this was what I was even trying to start earlier. Okay, yeah, this is it. Then add gap. Add gap of maybe 150, 160 pixel. Maybe 170. Maybe 180. Okay, now let us see what we have here. Yeah. Okay, still too much. Maybe 150. So 150 is perfect. Let's preview. Give me a second. Okay. All right, so yeah, we have this. 150 maybe is too much. Let's say 130. All right, 130 is just perfect. So this is what we have. So if we animate it now, it will be like this, you know. And before it gets here, it's going to loop to the beginning and to just start again, you know. So yeah, that is that about that. That's that part for you. I think I made a video on animation, how you can animate stuff, like how you can do this movement animation on my YouTube. So you can most likely go back again and still watch. But then we are going to do that. But before we do that, let's have David share his screen. But then, you know, if you can go and try it out first yourself, the animation part, it's very easy. That would be really great. Really, really great. You know, just test it out first. Then by tomorrow, if it is something that is challenging, then we will do the animation tomorrow. Yeah. So for now, we're just going to stop, like not stop here, but continue without the animation part. And we're going to assume that, okay, this part is done. This part is done. We're going to move on to this next part. But before we do that, David, are you still here? David, are you here?
Yes,
All right, cool. So you can share your screen. Let's see what, yeah.
okay. Quick question. I'm actually new here.
You're what? I can't hear you clearly.
I'm actually a bit a novice, not taking this call thing. I'm more like a receiver. I don't really operate.
So just give me a scope. How do I show my screen? Do not vision screen. So just a dream.
Let me stop sharing mine. Can you share your screen?
So that's what I'm trying to ask you now. How do I show mine?
Okay, you see present. You see present now. You see like list of icons. Present now. And you want to click on present entire screen or windows or arc tab or whatever. Choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Entire window.
Yeah.
Or entire screen.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Are we there?
Yeah.
Are we there?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. So, okay. So, the website is actually the Wakana landing page, the Wakana website. So, the issue I'm having here is it's a bit simple, but still, I feel it's stupid to me. But you are my boss now, so I feel it's more like you. So the thing is, these are the websites. As you can see, you can actually log in through the main website. Is Wakana.com. So everybody can do that. So here we have the website, like my hotel. Then I think my network is a bit poor because after you click on the hotel, there's this major that can be meant to change like this kind of like hotel image. Then this visa. So this is the toggle button. Then as you can see, the website is trying to change. So okay.
Okay.
So how do I get to? All right, so then on the group, right, you can see round trip. So on round trip, you can see the passenger plot. You can see the economy plot, and that can see more than it's like you're coming from your city to wherever you're going to. Then you can select the time frame, the time schedule here, and then you click on let's go. So this is my page. So actually, I was able to like do few tricks on my own, but then again, I was lost in some major part as well. So I don't know if you want to start from the scratch or but I have here. Yes, I was it was way more easy back then than the other.
Your line is kind of breaking, Your line is breaking somehow.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, just keep talking. Let me see. I don't know. Okay, so basically what you want to achieve, could you share yeah, I can hardly hear him too. Funny enough. Share your screen. Share the Wakana on Figma file. Like go to the Wakana on Figma file. Zoom into the parts that you're talking about. Okay. So round trip, zoom in a bit. Let me see. I can't see it. So round trip, passenger, and book hotel, find hotel, and visa, right? The three parts are like
Yes.
so you're talking about the clickable feature, yeah?
Exactly.
The click feature, okay. And what else again? When you click on round trip, a pop-up should happen, like something should happen, yeah?
Yeah, when you click on round trip, you have to have
Okay.
So this is actually the major problem now is this. For this final hotel, all right, we have this guest room whereby you can still add one more space, you can still add extra room, as you can see here.
Yeah.
So if you wish to take, you can remove, you can add.
Now, okay, that's all, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's it all.
All right.
Then again, calendar issue too. The date issue, the booking date booking.
Yeah. Okay. So what I can tell you is, for native Webflow, this Waka now is a web app. Do you get? It's a web application, not a website.
Okay.
Yeah. So those features are things that an application can do. You should, like I always tell people, the difference between a website and a web app. If you can carry out an action on a website, it's automatically a web app. If you can create a record, if you can create something, if you can update something, if you can delete something, there's a terminology for it, CRUD, CRUD, create, record, update, and delete. I think that's the meaning of CRUD. If you can do any of that, those are like the major things a web application can do. So it is now outside the confine of a website. Do you get? So the fact that you can, from city to, and that date field and all of that, it is no longer a website. Waka now is an application. That's the first thing we need to put out there. Sure, you get. Even though you can use Webflow form to achieve one or two things, like the date, but it will not, because what's going to happen is, if you want to book a flight, this is an application. This is the process you take to be able to book a flight, because whatever data you fill here, it is going to fetch the answer based on the data that you fill. Sure, you get. So now we are now talking back end. We're not talking database. We're not talking, back end stuff and big grammar. It is outside the confine of what Webflow can do. Do you get? Now you can just build the aesthetics. You can do those tabs. You can build book a flight. When you click on find hotels, it brings up another section. When you click on visa, you can do that. It's just a very simple tab. Just use tab to lay them out, which is most likely what I will show you. But these functionalities that says from where to where and the date and returning on, it is outside the confine of Webflow. It is an application that has massive, mad back-end stuff going on, because whatever information you put here, it is going to now call, based on the information you are putting, it will now fetch the data from the database or back-end to now show you, say, okay, on this date to this date, this is the available flight. This is where the flight is moving. Do you get? Michael has something to say. So Michael, please help sort it out.
Yeah, Dave, I just want to add to what you're saying. So, David, what David is saying is actually absolutely right. This is web application, and even if I thought you want to do this on Webflow, you will need something like maybe Wiz for the web application,
yes,
and then Xano for the backend.
Yeah.
It's from the backend that you pull all the resources that you do. And meanwhile, I would not even advise any company to build an app like this on Webflow
at all.
I recommend you to hire native engineers.
Yes.
And do them. You can only use maybe Webflow for the marketing communications.
Yes.
So nobody, no clients. If any client comes to you that they want to build something like this, run. At this place, you need an entire team of engineers.
You need team, because
it requires subsequent updates. Flights will change, a lot of schedules will change, because all of these things you are pulling it from their back end.
Yeah.
It's the information that they have stored, that they have arranged. that you are literally calling out. If you notice, if you try to book some flight on some site, they will tell you no flight available for some certain days because they don't have flight available scheduled for that day.
Exactly.
So you are literally just calling out information. So my brother, what David has said, for the book flights, find hotel, of course, you can achieve all that with Webflow for the aesthetics. But when it comes to functionality, we can achieve something close, but it is not advisable.
Yeah.
That is actually too large for you to run.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
That's true, yeah. I'm still busy with Webflow, I'm still learning day by day. So my question is that, is Webflow majorly for static websites?
Nope.
No. So let me say this. Before now, or let me just David, you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
All right. So this is how I perceive Webflow. You know, in the art of development, let me say web development for instance, we have the HTML, CSS, and of course JavaScript. That's just the basic. Then there are a lot of other senior programming languages that you use to, of course, get things done. Now, Webflow made the HTML and CSS of websites very, very visual, in the sense that just click and drag and everything is actually, the code is being generated from the backend. And fortunately also, you can export your code and read whatever it is you have designed in HTML, CSS on Webflow. So what Webflow is actually made for is, it can actually do some complex tasks, because I shared the testimonial with David recently of I built an audio player on Webflow for a client, and it's of course 70% custom code, even about 80% custom code actually, not directly inside Webflow. So a lot of things like that you might actually use maybe Webflow to just stage like the div block, the elements, the icons, and by the time you now try to integrate functionalities, of course you need libraries, you need custom code. Okay, if you ask David now what he did for FOGAP, that typing text, of course, he used a library to actually achieve that and not natively inside Webflow. So I wouldn't say Webflow is built for custom static side. You know, they are growing. I understand it's 2013. 2013 is not yesterday. But then, trust me, the way technology and updates work, you can do a lot. But what you are requesting is a web application.
Yeah.
And you can actually see web application. I will drop one in the group. That's one of the admin of this FinSuite, because I'm in one FinSuite Discord channel of a web application that they actually built with Webflow for an online education platform that students can log in, students can do all sort of they can read, take courses and all of it. So it's done with Webflow. So you can do a lot. But what you are requesting is going to require a lot of real-time data. You know, it's going to, the database is just too much. I would definitely not advise Webflow for it.
Yeah, because you need to now start integrating APIs and all of that, calling APIs, using different APIs and all of that.
Yeah, I've been thinking myself, I just let me just say what you can do. But then again, I was like, okay, I was doing stuff like that, just before outsourcing knowledge outside.
Yeah. So yeah, this is an application basically. So, but you can achieve this book flights, find hotel, those tabs, those clicking tabs and changing. So that one is easy. You get.
Okay, let me share what I've done.
Okay. Just click on the publish, like the play button, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to move my. So like, I was able to do this. Actually, what I'm trying to most times when it's program, sometimes I'm trying to sleep and I'm expecting to.
Why can't I hear you clearly? Like your line is like, I can't really hear you at all. It's just, it's really hard to hear you. I don't know, maybe your fan or something. I don't know. Maybe network.
Yeah, I have one.
I think it's maybe it's better, Sha. Just go ahead. But I can check. Yeah, I don't think it's very bad. Just go ahead.
So my question is that when drop down pops down, okay? So is it possible for me to click it here? And why click? For example, now there's round trip, there's one way and there's multiple. So let me click on import for me for you to play up so another different kind of project. So not this one particularly for this one now. Different project that has this kind of like drop down. So I'm learning that I can connect on this one way and you display one way on this section here.
Yeah.
Because right now it's on round trip.
Yeah.
Right now it's on round trip.
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yeah, it's very possible, 100%. You can use animation to power it. You can power animation. You can still build out the one way, but then you can, okay. You can build out the one way, but you can hide it only to reveal it when someone click on that one way. So it overshadows this round trip. Yeah, you can do that. You can achieve that actually with animation. These are like, things animation can do. So yeah, this guy Michael just shared a web app built using Webflow, Wist, and Xano LMS learning management platform. So yeah, so this is it. Really nice website. See? So yeah, Webflow can do a whole lot, but you need to learn other tools as well, because Wist is also a tool that you can use as the functionality, the React and the JavaScript part that you can use to power up the application, while Xano is the database, is what handles the database. So Webflow handles the front end, Wist handle the functionality, and Xano handles the database basically. So yeah, and yes, David, you can achieve that you just talked about. On click, you're going to put an animation. On click, this should be reviewed. Does that make sense? David, are you still there? Or maybe he's okay. I don't know. Maybe he's still there. You're muted, Sha. But yeah, on click, you can reveal on click. I can't hear you, but yeah, that is it. If you can hear me, you can maybe stop sharing, and let's see. I really cannot hear you anymore. All right. So I believe we've all learned a thing or two. So everyone, we can check out this LMS learning management platform that was built with Webflow. So this is an amazing hero section. We can even just play with everything, try different hero section, try different websites. So this is a very nice, I would say web app, but then built with Webflow. If you click, this is you click here about and all of that stuff, which is good. You can click on about, it takes you to the about us page, which is really good, So this is the hero section, get started, resume learning, see this nice hero section. Notice how as I scroll, it looks like the image is moving, or it looks like the hero section is shrinking, and all of that. So this is just left and right layout display, and this one is on scroll. As I'm scrolling, the hero section is there, image and all of this is changing. Not changing, it's adding up. See, very nice. These are just animation, things that animation can do. And keep scrolling, and we have this is accordion, and this is the testimonial section. See, it's just changing. You can click It's very nice. And this, look at this thing again, this moving logo powered by animation. See? And the FAQ really cool. And that's all. Pretty chill. Pretty chill. So when you click on, this is where back end things happen. You know, membership and all of that. If I click on take the course now, see, it tells me to log in, and I can choose to log in with Google. So this is, you know, most likely powered by maybe the Wist or some other type of membership things that is powering the login. And whenever you log in or create accounts, sign new account, it saves in the database, so that next time if you want to log in, it calls from the database, because it's a very simple logic. When you create an account, your data will be in a database. It's there. So next time, because your data is in the database, next time when you want to log in, fill in your email and the password that you use, because these two fields, email and password, are in a database already, a known database. So whenever you call that email and password, it allows you log in because it recognizes your email and password. So this is now where Xano comes in. That is if you want to combine it with Webflow and all of that. You know, yeah, that is just that about it. It's pretty straightforward. So yeah, we're just going to continue from where we stop, and we'll see how that goes. So I would most likely give us like an assignment right now, which I think you guys can go do. Build out this section. First of all, test out two things. Test out animation on this guy, moving animation. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to get it 100%. I made a video on it. Cynthia, are you here? Cynthia, are you here? You're here, unmute yourself. Cynthia Chia. Cynthia is not here. Are you serious?
Sorry, 1 minute, please. I apologize for the way I actually exited. It was my network, though, so
Yeah,
I don't know if I actually got some message.
It's very clear, like very, very clear right now. I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, but it was my network. I just have to go and reboot my Wi-Fi, so.
Oh, okay. Ah, man, this is so crazy, man. I hate that network is still a problem in my fatherland, the motherland.
That's all we face every day, boss.
Oh, well, that one did. So what's up now? Hey, you were saying, now I can hear you perfectly, man, like very clear.
So was there any question like that was addressed to me before the stuff went off?
Yeah, I said it can, everything you need to do from everything else can be powered with animation. Here you get with the,
Okay.
Yeah, to achieve the other one you talked about, to get the round trip and the single one way. So when you're going to build it out, you build out the round trip as you've done. You are going to also build out the one way. Do you get? As you've
Okay, then I will hide it under each other, right?
Yes, maybe you can. Can you see me? Can you see me?
I can see.
So this is the round trip, yeah?
Yeah.
Now you're going to build out the one way also, but you're going to make it absolute positioning. Do you get?
Okay.
Yeah. So now the round trip is in the front, what people can see. So now the one way will be under it. You will set it to hidden. You're going to hide it, yes, and it's going to also be position absolute, so that it is in line with the round trip. But the Z index is going to be the round trip will have a bigger Z index, so it is showing, while this one way is under it. You understand? And also set to hidden. So it's hidden, and it also has a lower Z index. So the animation on click of when you click on the one way, let it showcase the what's it called? Let it showcase the one way. Do you get? Or you don't even have to worry about the index. Just hide it. Make sure you hide the
More like overlapping.
Yes, they are both overlapping, but the round one way is set to hidden. Hidden. Yeah. You maybe two things you can do: reduce the opacity and hide, so that when you animate it, let it have like a subtle show. Let the animation be both from 0% to 100%, and also the what's it called, the visibility set to from hidden to maybe static. Or let me show you what I'm talking about. You know, when you set something to hidden, let's say for instance this entire section, you can set it to hidden. This is the hidden, right? I have built it out. It's fully built out, but I set it to hidden. See, it's gone. It's still there, but it is just hidden. It will not show on the website. Then when you animate it on click, let it come back. On click
To flex.
Yeah, to flex, exactly, based on what you use. Maybe it's done with display, static block element, or flex. If it is flex, then let it come back to flex on click of one way. You know, the other one will hide, while this one will now be visible. Sure you get?
Okay.
Yeah, so when you click the round trip again, let the round trip own be visible, the other one set to hidden. Something like that, sure. That's just the trick.
Okay. All right. That actually thanks, boss.
Yeah, that's just the trick. It's just animation basically. But you have to be very, very you have to be very, smart about it. You have to just go watch one or two videos about how about animation. It's not that hard. I don't think it's hard at all. Just build it out 100%, build everything visible, then just use animation on click to like hide some things and all of that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Cynthia Chia is not here, which is so sad. I wanted to give her a task, but let me see. Femi, how far?
I'm good, Dave.
All right, cool. So Femi, what you can do now for me, for yourself, and for everybody. Now, you will go and check back on my YouTube and fetch out the animation video I made. Share you get.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're going to share it on the group so that other people too can see it. Because if I say everybody should go and sort it out themselves, they may not get it, or I don't know. So just sort it out. You watch it. Then the assignment is two assignments. Everyone try to sort out the animation of this section, the moving animation. Once you watch the video, I think it's doable. It's not that deep. So Femi, you're going to get the video. Before you scroll 3-4, just check, you see it on my YouTube. Then you share it on the group. Animation, moving animation, or text movement, or whatever. With that, this can be done. And you guys will also build out this section also. So this section is very simple. It's just like this section, but the other way around. See, all the text is now to this side. All the image part is now to this side, but different image. So what you can do, you can even duplicate this section and then switch it, the other way around, so that all the, something like that. It's just move div blocks here and there. Make sure this one become the last, and make sure you rename. If you duplicate this section, make sure you rename the new section to something else. Maybe duplicate the class names too. Maybe call it section teamwork. Section teamwork. So the entire section is different from this section. So if I am to create that new section by duplicating, but if you want, you can choose to build it from scratch without having to duplicate this old section, so that you master how to build. So you master how to build layouts. I'm just telling you guys easy way out, which is not advisable. Don't duplicate, don't copy and paste like this. I've copy and pasted it. Don't. You can just start from scratch, you know, so that you get used to how to build layouts. Start from scratch. Start by coming here and saying, okay, section, call it section teamwork. See, start like this, then create the foundation, bringing in a div block, all of that. Do it like that. Before you do it several times, you will get used to it. So I need you guys to build out this section. I don't know if it's possible between now and tomorrow, but I think it's possible. It's just within 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. I mean, it should be done. Tomorrow is weekend. Just take out your time. Please build out this section and try to sort out this animation. This one, if you don't do it between now and tomorrow, just try and do it within the week. Let me just be sharing you just share your progress on the group so we can have a look at it, and I'll correct you. Then when we come next time, I will do it myself. In case you're not able to do it, no pressure. We'll still redo it again. Then this section, this third section is almost like this first section. It's the same thing. So you can just copy and paste it or rebuild it from scratch so that you get a hold of it. So as you can see, we are done with this 3 section. We now move on to this part. Before you know it, we are almost there. So yeah, that is the assignments. So you guys can just sort out these 2 sections and try to sort out the animation for this part. So yeah, that's basically it. And we're going to stop here for today.